Hey guys, it's been a while, I know. I was going to do that whole Marvel series over the last 8 weeks or so, but that first one didn't take off. I didn't get good vibes, and unfortunately I didn't go forward with it. I wish I could have, but a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I didn't seem to grab enough attention on that first go. So I didn't go through with it. I'm sorry about that, guys. In the meantime, I've been working on a lot of other little things behind the scenes that you guys will know about soon enough, because I want to keep you guys involved. I really appreciate you guys viewing my stuff and building up a small following on this channel. This channel's been going. It's gonna be 9 years in about 3 weeks. So it's been a lot of growth, ups and downs with this channel. But let's talk about something that has brought us all together time and time again on this channel. That's the Halloween film. I've had a lot of you guys come on board since I started talking about the new movie. I know I said I was gonna say every development that comes out with this, but I got a real life that goes on outside of this camera box. So, unfortunately I haven't. Let's talk about what's gone on in recent days, but I'm also going to let you know of one crucial piece that has been missing from this Halloween production. I've given this Halloween production a lot of positive feedback and a lot of hype, and I think we've all been excited for this new movie. Hell, I've been one of the most excited for it, I think, on all of YouTube. But here's the thing. We've gotten so much stuff in the news lately. We got a new trailer at CinemaCon, I believe, that we haven't seen yet, but a lot of people saw and gave it some excellent praise. We heard rumors of a test screening of the first cut of the film, which apparently didn't go so well. But that was shot down by John Carpenter, and it's been really unconfirmed whether we really got a first cut of the film. But the thing is, there's one crucial piece missing from this entire production that I don't think we've mentioned. And that's Dean Cundey, the director of photography. We're talking about the authenticity with this new Halloween film. We've got Jamie Lee Curtis, Nick Castleback in their titular roles. We've got John Carpenter as an executive producer, and he is doing the score. That's been confirmed. So why in the hell did we not get Dean Cundey to shoot the film? Just wait, just think back to 1978. Okay, that was when the original Halloween came out, of course. And I even mentioned in my 20-minute long analysis of the film that you guys have been watching a lot more so recently, and thank you for that. I mentioned that one of the most immersive qualities and most important qualities of that film is the cinematography. And Dean Cundey is one of the best in the business to ever do it. Look at his credit list. He's one of my favorites. This guy has such an appreciation and understanding for the craft of cinematography and camera work and photography and whatnot. And he really brought that Halloween to its art house level. You could even argue the first 3, which he shot. He did Halloween 2, which, think back to some of the shots in that film. The one of the needle, when the shape, his face is just barely exposed with the kind of blue flushing light. Just amazing. Then Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, he shot that too, and that even has amazing cinematography. This guy has always known what he's doing. And again, he was one of the people that elevated that original film to a level that has never been, emulated by any of the other slasher type films from that era. He was one of the integral pieces to separate that from really being classified as a slasher, and this was much credit should be due, or at least afforded to Dean Cundey and the rest of the team. That was a real art house, art school kind of team that made that film back in the early, or late 70s rather. Sorry. But I'm rambling. The point is that with the authenticity this new movie is trying to boast, with all of the original pieces coming back and going back to basics, they left out probably one of the biggest MVPs from the entire series. And this is important because, again, talking about authenticity, we want that feeling of terror and that very false sense of security that we got in the original Halloween. That was accomplished with a lot of great methods that Cundey had obviously been really astute with. He was great at looming through these neighborhoods, using great tracking shots, using great pans, using the use of the Steadicam, which was pioneered in that era in the mid and late 70s, and using the full frame to his advantage, using a lot of long takes and no cuts. And he was just so ahead of the game at that time, I think, than a lot of others, that we don't really even notice how well he did in the original film because of how realistic and raw the film comes off as. It was emulating reality quite well. But then just think about how some of the shots were framed. Throughout that whole film, there's just beautiful shots and beautiful lighting, or lack thereof, in a lot of scenes. And really go back and pay attention to the subtleties and sophistication of the cinematography back in 1978. And I think that is one of the most important qualities that makes these films so appealing, especially the original film. There's a sense of dread that is pulled with each shot, and Cundey just knew how to drift and loom and coast through these neighborhoods or through these very cheap sets effectively to maximize the potential of the actors and the setting. It's just a feeling that we don't get from current films, which I think maybe I'm in the minority on this, but there's a lot in current film that is not captured with cinematography because there's so much cuts and edits that you always feel displaced from the actual film. I rarely feel involved in a scene like I do with some of these older films. And it's not a nostalgic thing, it's an aesthetic thing. But let me just close out on this point. Why don't we ask this question, huh? Why the hell wasn't he involved with this production? Or maybe he was and we haven't been revealed that yet. I don't have any information on who the DP is on this film. But with all the positivity I've been throwing at this film for the last year and a half, or what be it, I think we really need to ask these proper questions. Why don't we ask Jason Blum this? Go tweet him. He's always on Twitter for whatever reason. Or David Gordon Green. Get a hold of him maybe. Nick Castle's on Twitter now. Go ask him that question. Or John Carpenter. Why didn't they get this guy involved? Dean Cundey. One of the best cinematographers of our time. Okay? And look at his recent projects. I mean, he did Jack and Jill with Adam Sandler back in like 2011. I'd like to see him get back to his roots and go for a more low-budget indie feel and really channel that artistic drive that he had back in the 70s. Because we all know he's still talented. Or maybe they couldn't afford him. I don't know. But this is a question that I think we need to direct toward the producers of this film. Why didn't you get him on board? Talk about authenticity, that's one of the guys you need. And I'm really hoping who they have on this production now can effectively emulate that style, because I'm going to be disappointed if I see a lot of cuts and I don't get long drawn out takes that really pull the tension strings with the environment and play with light and darkness correctly. And with Blumhouse Productions, though they've been efficient, they've really benefited off of the quick cuts and the jumps from time to time. James Wan has been able to avoid that with the Conjuring series at times, but with the ADHD-driven society we live in currently, I think we do need some reversion back to those aesthetic qualities, and Dean Cundey is one of the guys that you could have done that with. But maybe he was busy. I don't know. Why don't you guys let me know what you think, though? I've got some things coming up that I'm going to inform you guys on to kind of get a little bit more acquainted with me since you've been following this channel. And yeah, there's some stuff going that I'm going to keep you guys tuned in on. But in the meantime, continue this conversation below and I'll be sure to chime in as much as I can. Thanks for watching, guys. So until the next video, I'll catch you later.